Just so rocking. Drew and KB from the Iron Jock Studio on this Victory Monday. Happy to be joined by our pal who's carrying the G, and it's lighter than ever on a Victory Monday. It's Aaron Nagler. Our conversations with the Cheesehead TV Pooh Bar are sponsored by Miller Lite, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference, and Rogers Behavioral Health. Good afternoon, Nags.
What's going on my business card? Cheesehead TV Pooh Bah. I like
Pooh
that.
Bah.
That'll
like
work.
That. Yes.
Sign
Loyal Order of the Water Buffalo and Pooh Bah. Grand Pooh Bah. That's us.
I'm all in.
That's us. So let's start topically. Dallin Levitt gets yelled at by the teacher, and then he's now suspended and expelled.
I'm almost impressed with 2 penalties on 1 play. Look, he got his money's
all
worth.
out.
On his way out the door, he got everything he could. He took it all, and I can't say I'm surprised, I'm sure there was more going on behind the scenes. You have to think this probably wasn't the first issue. It's rare that one guy screws up one time and gets the boot. So not great. Feel bad for the guy, but onwards and upwards.
All right, but Patrick Taylor is the winner here because he gets to come back from the Patriots practice squad, presumably to fill in for Aaron Jones.
Well, you have to think they're going to really lean on his, A, knowledge of the offense, and B, pass protection ability. This is a game in Detroit on Thursday where you don't have a lot of time to draw stuff up. You got to, put in your game plan of plays that you've run plenty of times throughout the last couple of years. Taylor will know all that. And for a backfield that's going to be probably featuring Dillon and Taylor, it's not like this is going to be, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. They're not going to button it up and try to play a power running game. They're most likely going to spread it out, and they're going to have backs back there who know the system as far as pass protection goes. Taylor is rock solid in that regard. I would suspect when you see them go to any kind of spread look, 2-minute stuff, Taylor will probably be the guy out there. And it's going to be kind of wild considering he'll have been in the building for, 48 hours by the time they take the field?
True.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even less, actually, right?
Probably. I mean, they have practiced. They have no practice today. Practiced one, probably a walkthrough speed practice tomorrow. Yeah, then they're on their way to Detroit.
Walk through Wednesday and fly to Detroit, right?
Yeah, that'll be the way.
So, Nags, how about that jet sweep?
How about it? How about Jaden Reed? How about our boy?
How nice was that? How nice was that to see that working?
Not only is Jaden Reed balling out as a receiver, but he was also the leading rusher yesterday with 3 carries. That tells you where the ground game is at the moment. But yes, Jaden Reed, yeah, you've been talking him up for good reason. Each and every week he seems to deliver. I mean, look, at this point, you heard it talking on the broadcast. They're undoubtedly drawing up plays for him each and every week. You got to think that's only going to continue because he is a big play waiting to happen. Passing game, running game, it doesn't matter. Love to see him more involved. You're going to have to lean on him on Thursday because he absolutely delivers.
Is it wrong and hypocritical of me to like those plays when they work, but then think that they get sometimes
they hate them when they don't?
They get too cute. It's like, that was unnecessary.
Well, yeah, I think they overthought it on the first third down, the 3rd and short, where they gave the look like they were going to do the tush push and then tried to give it to Reed. And
yeah, I
think they are they did overthink that one, but they made up for it. They came back on the next 3rd and short, just gave it to A.J. Dillon, who pounded forward for 2 yards. I mean, I think every football coach probably maybe short circuits themselves with trying to over analyze things in that way. But man, look, I don't care. Anytime you have an opportunity to get the football in Jaden Reed's hands, I'm going to take it. And yeah, it's not going to work every single time, but more often than not, good things are going to happen.
Chatting with Aaron Nagler, Cheesehead TV, Mondays and Fridays here on the Drew and KB program. Okay, is it wrong of me also to have a little tinge where I wonder, it was great that the Packers won, but did the Chargers also lose that game because of the drops and all the mistakes? I mean, it's not a referendum. Yeah. An individual game is not a referendum on which team is better. You can win a game and not be a better team.
Oh, 100%. No question.
Happens all the time. Every day it happens.
I mean, my co-host on Carry the G and MKE, Camille Davis, put it perfectly. I mean, the Chargers charged harder than they've ever charged before yesterday. I mean, you talk about the one team in the league that probably takes, what should be victories and turns them into losses more than the Green Bay Packers in 2023. It's the Los Angeles Chargers, and they absolutely fit the bill yesterday. And, hey, you never apologize for winning.
Hey.
You don't care. You take the W. But, yeah, I mean, when your MVP on defense is most likely the son, Yeah, you can say you probably escaped. You escaped.
That's true. The Sun and the Lambeau turf remain undefeated.
Absolutely. I mean, that's
Austin Eckler taking a dive.
Vince Lombardi just shining down, man. I'll take it 100%.
Where are the screw-in cleats? I hear that from Kuhn 100 times.
Well,
Where are
it's
the
funny.
screw-in cleats?
In the pregame report, they said that was Staley's whole thing. They said that like Staley had seen so much slipping on tape, and then said, "Make sure he mandated the screw-on cleat, the spikes." For
I don't care if your feet hurt. You're professionals.
And
Get out there and play.
That didn't seem to help Eckler.
Eckler probably
on that play where he
ignored
fell
it.
Well, it's possible, right?
Well,
Very
you know
possible.
what? So now you've got players complaining, because my wife and I were having this discussion, and it's like they complain about the turf, the sports turf.
Right.
They complain now that the grass is dangerous.
Interesting, isn't
and it's
that?
like, okay, you don't know something. I don't know if you boys know this, but this is a dangerous sport.
Right.
It is a very violent and dangerous sport. Don't blame everything on the surface.
Well, and guys want to go faster, right? That's why they wear less padding, or they try to get away with shorter cleats because they want speed. Speed kills. It's the name of the game. The guys want to be as fast as possible. But on a field like Lambeau, yeah, I mean, Staley was correct for wanting that from his team. But to your point, I don't know that everybody follows.
Have they ever done a study on, let's say, knee injuries or ACLs on the different surfaces and took a look at the old, like, Cincinnati, turf, baseball turf stadium, or any of those that were just basically concrete?
Yeah, they're outdoor carpeting.
Right. And what was the most dangerous?
There have been tons of studies recently. I don't know how far back they've gone in regards to like tallying injuries and seeing what kind of surface they occurred on. But I know recent vintage in the last like 5 to 8 years, there's been a lot of study around it.
Because I don't recall these
inclusive one way or the other.
I don't recall a lot of ACLs a long time ago. Do you?
I mean, yeah, I guess I'd have to go back and think about it. But my thing is always, it does feel like we've gotten to a point in the NFL with some of these athletes who are so tightly wound and so built up. They spend their whole offseason working out in a way they never did when you guys and I was growing up. But so does that mean that we've maybe reached the limit of what the human body can handle as far as speed and power and cutting ability? And then maybe these ligaments just start saying, I can't take it anymore.
They get overpowered.
Replace some of this sport-specific training that kids do from such an early age now with a little common labor, and we might be better off. Maybe lift some hay bales.
Or just different. There's so much specialization now.
Yes.
That's a whole other conversation. But I've talked to so many guys who came up through the league back in the day, like Matt Bowen, guys like from that era, who talk about, man, just let the kids play as many sports as possible, just because, so they have not just an ability in their one determined sport, but lots of different experiences using their body in a lot of different ways, and also just an experience in different kind of environments.
Working different muscles too.
Be the well-rounded athlete. Nags, we might have a T-shirt in the making.
Oh boy.
Our friend Casey from Madison just texted the show and said that when the Packers do it, the tush push is the love shove.
Ooh, the love shove.
The love shove.
The problem is they rarely do it. Like, they've shown that look a couple of times, but they always try and fake the opponent out.
Well, that play works, and Rodgers hated it. So if I'm LaFleur and I got Jordan Love and he's young and doesn't mind getting his nose dirty a little bit, every time.
Here's the other thing.
Third and fourth and short, he's between the guard and the center. Go.
And you don't have to run the tush push. You know what I mean? Like those two dudes lined up behind you, pushing whatever. Just run a classic quarterback sneak. That's
Get
the
under
other
center
thing that's
and
blowing my
go.
mind. It's like you to your point, you've got a young guy with powerful legs. Let's go. Let's utilize him.
The tush push is almost like you kind of look at it and go, "Oh, come on, be better." Right?
But they are better. That's the point.
No, I mean, it's almost like cheating. How are you supposed to stop that?
Better. No, if it was cheating, then every team would do it and be successful, but no other team can do it and be successful the way the Eagles are.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. That's part of the gig is figuring out how to take advantage.
Well, why don't you just pick them up and throw them over? You have two guys go, and then they put their hands down like you used to, and the running back jumps and jumps in their hands, and then you flip them over like they're cheerleaders.
Because it's not the circus, but that's a great idea.
No, it's not. It's a horrible idea. Next,
just KB being silly.
My point is, it just seems like it's kind of like not in the spirit of sportsmanship. I don't know.
You're just making stuff up now. What does that even mean?
All right, Nags. What do we, where are we on the Jordan Love continuum right now? I thought he played really well. Was that his best game as a starter?
I mean,
top to bottom?
pretty damn well. I mean, it's hard to say, concretely, just because the caveats are always going to be there, right? Like, there are missed throws. There's the one up the left sideline to Musgrave. You're like, how do you miss that? That's such not a gimme. None of them are, but that's a play that seems somewhat, there's a guy breaking free down the left sideline. Just hit him. And then the other detraction is, oh, well, the Chargers have a terrible pass defense. Well, yeah, but you still got to make the throws. You still got to make the plays. I thought for the most part Jordan did that. It is interesting, though. We seem to have like a temperature taking each and every week on Jordan, right? And it does seem each and every week for the past 3 weeks, he's gotten a little better. And I'm not sitting here telling anybody that he's arrived or he's perfect or he's clearly the next great Packers quarterback. But I don't think any objective observer can look at the body of work over the course of, say, the last month, right? Compare it to the previous month when they were losing 4 in a row and the offense looked completely out of sorts and see anything other than improvement. And that's what this whole season is about.
Which is that's the fascinating discussion. What if he was throwing to, Alan Lazard and Devontae Adams, and those guys were there from day one this season?
Well, look, Donald Driver
as opposed to guys that are taking
right?
taking the Christian Watson leap now. Guys like Wicks are finding places to go. They know what they're doing now. We've talked to guys that there's no rookies at this point, right?
Nope.
And they're starting to figure things out a little bit. You saw that from Tucker Kraft. You saw it from Musgrave to an extent.
Right. And now, of course, short week heading into Detroit, a buzzsaw there, and Wicks has got a concussion. Musgrave is not listed as a participant in practice today. Man, Matt LaFleur is going to be it's house money, really. I mean, no one expects them to win this game, but you are really going to have to be creative on offense.
Okay. Were you heartened by the fact that the Lions didn't play well against the Bears? They woke up just in time to avoid an embarrassing L. But what does that mean for Thursday, if anything?
I don't think it means much. It's such a matchup league, and obviously they're playing the Bears, right? And the Bears were, active and fortuitous in creating turnovers in a way the Packers certainly haven't this year, though they finally got one with Eckler on Sunday. But yeah, I don't think it means a whole lot. Just you're playing different schemes, you're playing different players. Now, that said, it certainly shows you that if you get a few bounces to go your way, you got a shot, right? And that's what the Packers need. That whether it's a surprise onside, whether it's some kind of trick play on offense, something to give you a little a jolt, B, steal a possession, then you've got a shot. You got a chance. But man, they're going to be undermanned. They're going to be on a short week. Got to think they're going to have barely practiced, but this is why we watch, man. Anything can happen.
They will win on Thursday.
Look at you. That's my boy. That's my guy right there.
Ooh, baby.
They will win. That is my prediction. They will win on Thursday.
Clip it, Hunter. I'm waiting
for
it. I can't wait.
Saving.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Just because Detroit will carry on their tradition of letting their city down on the family holiday when they should be bringing everyone together.
There's a reason Vince Lombardi told the NFL, no more, I'm done. Because, for years and years and years, the Packers went into Detroit on Thanksgiving, and it was always the hardest game of the year. Oftentimes, Detroit would end up winning, and Vince was like, no, I'm done. And we have been away from Detroit on Thanksgiving since 2013. I've been really enjoying not having to have my Thanksgiving ruined by this game. But now we're back. And the Lions was, they approached this game like their Super Bowl every year when they played the Packers back in the day. Now they're actually good. And now they're going to use it as like a showcase to show everyone, look, we are the cream of the NFC. We're beating up on our old nemesis. And I'm not looking forward to it. I just want to eat my turkey, man. I want to drink a beer and watch 3 games of football without any anxiety. So much for that.
Think about how glorious it'll be if KB's prediction comes right.
I mean, yeah, it'll be amazing. It'll be awesome.
I'm feeling good things.
We talked about it Friday, Nags. The Packers had to win that because your next 2 are against the Lions and Chiefs. You had to win that one.
And if they can steal one of these next 2.
And, the Vikings kept the door cracked, right?
They did indeed. I'm
not
saying.
How did they lose that game? How did they? I'm just like.
Well, they're the Vikings,
Yeah, I suppose.
I know they got all happy and excited because they won a couple games, but that doesn't mean they're still not the Vikings. Come on, man.
No. A highlight for me yesterday on Packers OT, we talked to Tucker Kraft, and I asked him, because he's a South Dakota State guy. He's a jackrabbit.
Yes, he is.
And I'm like, what'd you think of these throwbacks? I looked at Christian Watson, and I thought he was back at North Dakota State, their rival. And Tucker had a great answer. He goes, I will wear the green and gold. I will never wear green and yellow.
Yeah, good call. Very good call.
Because I'm like, you felt like you were playing for North Dakota State, didn't you?
Probably
He's
did.
like, no. He's like, I was green and gold, not green and yellow.
Shout out to him for that play where he almost got in the end zone.
Twinkle toes.
I mean, great to see him active, though, and involved on offense because, he had a couple catches other than that. And I just love that all of these youngsters, all these rookies are getting them kind of their moment, right? And hopefully they can continue to build on that. They're going to need every last man on Thursday.
The feeling I got yesterday from talking to guys is that it's starting to gel a little bit. They're starting to figure it out.
And it feels like it. It looks like it on the field.
Aiden Hutchinson would like a word.
That's a problem, right? I mean, he wrecked that last game.
That's a problem.
And that was at Lambeau. So, I mean, Godspeed, Zach Tom. But
indeed,
you got to think they're going to have a different plan this time around.
Nags, thanks for joining us. Carry the G, my brother. Enjoy Thursday, whatever happens, and we'll talk to you Friday either way.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right. Aaron Nagler, brought to us on the program by Miller